Even making contact, how you make the contact is really important. Even if you're just doing holds, to bring your hands down slowly. This is a great opportunity for you to really begin to feel your own body, to check your own shoulders, whether you're in that lovely, relaxed base position. Holds. Holds. Everywhere you take your hands, their attention is taken to that part of their body, which is why at the end of a massage, even if you just do some sort of stroking down to the feet or holding the feet, gets them to reconnect with that part, particularly if you're going to do an upper body massage. Really important to do that. Hold. Last time, I was going to say last week, it wasn't last week, we looked at rocking, we looked at oscillation. Now, personally, I tend to do some rocking in the beginning. Why might I do it at the beginning?
To see how it moves.
Yeah, I'm wanting to see how his body moves. I will already have the consultation that will tell me if there's anything I need to be a little bit careful of. Harry, you weren't here for that, were you? Okay, so you're going to feel it. So I might want to know how his body is, how stiff he is, how easily he can let go. If he has any pathology in the lower back, I'm going to be careful. So I might just stay there and do a little. Holds. I might use just some pressure to start with. Just again, I'm assessing, I'm feeling what's going on in there before I even start. I can feel through the towel already that he has quite a tight area in the erectors on this side, which doesn't seem to be on that side. Okay? So I'm already, all the time, I'm assessing what his body feels like and how he's responding to my touch. So here, can you see the difference between that side and that side? Mm-hmm. So here's where I might use some of that technique. So he really lets go there. I can push there and there's no resistance here. You see the resistance there. Good, so that's already told me a lot. I'm going to just take, what am I stuck on there? And then tuck that bottom towel in. Comfortable? Comfortable, sir?
Yes.
Oil. Effleurage. I've got lovely cold hands, Harry. Sorry. Effleurage. I'm not going to go, I can go reach down to there. More is a little bit of a challenge, so I need to come to the side. Or I just stick to the upper back. This is that diamond we did in the first place. Always, anything you do that follows through, it just feels good. Effleurage strokes. Effleurage, double-handed effleurage. Movement, how do you want your body to move? What's important with the body movement? Give me the clues about what makes it okay. Remember? Feet. How do my feet need to be?
Direct.
The front foot is facing where I'm going. Yes?
Yeah.
Wherever my direction is, that's where my front foot is going to be. My back foot needs to be where? Behind and? And? Remember the Tai Chi stance? One foot in front, the back foot is at sort of 45 degrees usually. So that I can go forward on the front foot, back on the back. Forward on the front, back on the back. What are the other elements that are really important? Yeah, so you've got a bounce, you've got a really good base move there. You're actually just, your lower body is just sinking into the ground a little bit there. And I think of my feet as having roots growing from them, really anchoring me, okay, as I move forward and back. What else do we know about this area? I'm sure I mentioned spotlight, the kind of hara spotlight. So I'm always facing with my hara wherever I'm going. Yes? Good. Shoulders relaxed. Petrissage. Is this kind of what you wanted? Petrissage. I'll come that way so you can see. What are the petrissage movements that we have?
Squeezing.
Squeezing.
Ringing.
Ringing. Ringing.
Alternating. Alternate.
Alternate hands. This is what you mean by alternate
Yeah.
hands? Kneading. Another word for that. All sorts of areas. Rolling. Do you remember the rolling techniques? Any kind of rolling. Any squeezing backwards and forwards. Any picking up, squeezing, letting go. All of that. Pulling. Where do you think pulling comes from? Where do you think that technique comes in? What would we call that? Effleurage, petrissage?
Movement.
Movement, stretching. It's kind of in the middle of everything, isn't it? Because if I did that really lightly,
Is a floral.
it's an effleurage. If I'm picking up, squeezing, pulling tissues, it's a petrissage. Am I stretching
If you hold
tissues?
it, it's
I'm stretching tissues. Good. Petrissage. Can you clue here?
Oh,
Ah.
yeah.
We're going on to using the fist. This is just the fist, isn't it? It's flat onto the skin. And if you want some reinforcement with that, you can use the other hand on top, the other hand on top and on the body. And we did quite a few different types of knuckle work using the knuckles. If I just break that down, this is the flat of the hand, just using that in areas that are easy, that are very easy. Soft. Remember the principles, the hands are soft and you're directing the knuckles where you want them. And we did some percussion. We did lots of percussion. So we did sort of pummeling. Either if you can use any part of the hand you like. We did the big bird. And the big bird.
cupping.
Cupping. Give me a few more, people.
Jumping.
Hacking.
Jumping. Yeah.
Hacking.
Jumping.
Chomping.
Jumping.
Chomping. C-H-A-M-P-I. So hacking. And in the smaller areas you want smaller techniques. And the brushing. We did brushing. Remember? And the chompy was 2 hands. But that's really just, yeah. Okay, what else?
Oh, then that
We did some forearm work. We don't do that yet, do we?
Not yet. Did we do? Was it off
Nice
the
try, nice try. We did lots of vibration work. And I was thinking about the vibration work I do in my general work, and it really does take up a lot of what I do. Okay? So we did vibration with fingers. We did vibration work with whole hand. But if I want to get into an area, I can work very much more specifically. And I'm guessing the other piece of work that we haven't put in here is compressions. Okay, so let's find some nice. So compressions, reinforced fingers, reinforced thumb. Do you remember the thumb, hand on top? I'm just going for that piece that's around the erectors there. Are you okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
Remembering that when the deeper you go, the slower you go, and what else do you need to do a lot
The
of?
more you talk to the client.
Yeah, we talk to the client a lot when it comes to that, right? So I'm just feeling in here. You see where I go over there?
Yeah.
So I'm interested in that. I'm very interested in this bit here. So I'm going to now, so I felt something here. Can you see that ribbon? How do I go over it? So I'm feeling that. So I'm going to check in with him. How does that feel? Any tenderness?
Okay, yeah.
You're all right in there. Okay. So if there was, then I'd have to work very specific. There is going to be in here. I just haven't found the spot yet. But there will. And then I'm going to work much more specifically and maybe with his breath, yes? And with very clear communication on that. We also did quite a lot of the movement. Now we haven't even left the back yet, have we? So we were doing movement. We also did a lot of the shaking last time. A lot of shaking. A lot of movement there. Anything else? Tell me if there's anything you want me to go over. And don't be silent. It's not like you. Huh? You can be silent.
Because I wasn't here last time either. Did you do oscillation?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually that's worth mentioning, isn't it? So what we were saying was the difference between rocking and oscillation. Rocking tends to be the bigger movements. And if I take you through some nice rocking on the leg, can you see how it helps to move the hip area? Good. And the lower back area? So rocking. When I work with oscillation, I tend to think of that as more specific. So I was thinking of the oscillation movements, I do a lot more very specific, smaller areas with oscillation. Very good to get that spine mobilizing. See that? You see? Anything else? The difficulty is helping yourself, allowing yourself to feel their rhythm, not yours. So I realised watching that video that we did last time, I tend to take my hand off a lot because I've got the sense of that rhythm. But for you, you might want to keep your hands on when you start and just really get a feel for the person's rhythm. Then once you've got it, then you can start playing a little bit with that. He moves very well. And some people don't. So the oscillation, you can begin to really mobilize people with those techniques. You can hold one bit and move another. There's a whole world of that. Anything else anybody's not sure about? Please tell me. The neck? You want to go over the neck? Do the neck quickly.
Yeah,
Do you want
okay.
to do the
Yeah.
neck quickly? Just lift your feet for me, Aaron. Just hold them. This is where I do the
The
turn.
turn, yes, the turn is very important.
The turn's really important. Of course I get this right every time. Okay, Harry, I'm going to get you to turn over this way and onto your back. So turn over first. That's it. And just down. Thank you for being so cooperative there. And a little more so you could see count. Lovely, thank you. I think that's the last one. Right, I'm going to leave that on top for now. So, if we were doing the head, what would you want to see on the head? Can I have a chair? Is it, you know how lazy I am, right? What are we going to do on the head? What do you want to see?
The neck, underneath.
So you want to see pulling through on the neck?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything else?
Linda wants to show you what.
Yeah, it's more around this area, but I think it's what she said underneath.
So both?
When it's tense.
Okay.
On the side.
So, lots of ways you can work under neck. It's hard for you to see what I'm doing. Okay, I am scooping my hand under and pulling through. Scooping my hand under and pulling through. I've put some oil on there so it makes it easier. I'm scooping under and then I'm cupping and pulling through. Scooping under, cupping, getting in position, because otherwise I can't do that, and pulling through. Can you see that?
Do you hold the head? Like it's never going back on the table when you
Well, no, because I've got the other hand underneath. From that position, you can move the head a little bit. You can move the head wherever you want, really. Okay, or I might... See, what's possible when you're standing is different from what's possible when you're sitting down. Do you understand that? So I'm having to kind of scoop and get a bit lower to do that. It's quite comfortable. What have I got when I'm standing? I've got a really nice pull through with my whole body. If I sit, I've got a slightly different angle there, haven't I? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so sitting allows me to do different things. So sitting allows me to get my fingers underneath. And remember we did that rocking of the spine backwards and forwards. So what have I got now? I've got a finger either side of the process, and I'm literally just rocking backwards and forwards on that. That's meaning I have to keep my body still whilst I do that. And as I come up the neck, because it's not attached to the ribs, and well, it's further down from the ribs, the T1, but because it's further away from that, it's more mobile, and you can see that much more clearly. So what am I doing? I'm literally just taking each vertebrae and moving it backwards and forwards. That tells me a lot about how mobile his neck is. But I might... What else did you want to see? The other thing that we've done is work from one side. Sorry, I've just gone on the other side of the... Shall I come the other side? Is coming through the neck from the side. Again, thinking about where your body is going to be in relation to that. That's all really this is about. Again, my body is where?
Facing direction.
Yeah, I'm pulling through. If I'm pulling, I need to be behind where I'm pulling through to. So if I want to pull this way, I need to be here. And then I'm just going to work on the muscles on the side of the spine there. I'm using my fingertips and just pulling through. I might have one hand on top of the other.
Where's the limit? Where do you stop? Like, because there's...
Yeah, where do you stop? There is a triangle that you need to be a little bit more cautious of. It's in the front of the neck. You've got the sternocleidomastoid down here, yes? You can work on that, that's fine, but really you need to be a little careful if you go forward of that. Anterior of the sternocleidomastoid. Why?
Arches and veins.
Feel your neck, just feel where your sternocleidomastoid is, just hook your neck to one side and feel that, and then feel inside of that. What have you got?
Your breathing.
Yeah, so you've actually got your all of the pharynx, the larynx, You've got your artery vein down here. It's a more delicate area. If I was to press in there, what do you think might happen? Press in your own and see what happens. Well, you might faint if you get the carotid artery, but just feel around the larynx there. What happens when you feel around that?
It's tender.
It's tender. If I poke that a bit, it might develop a little bit of a gag reflex, sort of coughing, gag type reflex, you know. Don't want that. But you might want to work on the sternocleidomastoid, which is here. But I'd probably work on that with the neck this way so it's relaxed. Remember what we said about it's going to be easier to work on muscles when they're relaxed rather than when they're stretched. So we might start when they're relaxed and then take it into a stretch position and do some more. And the occiput here, the muscles under the occiput area, the suboccipital muscles, under the skull here, really important area to work. Right, we need to sort of kind of wrap up. Is there anything else you need to see? We're doing techniques now, we're going over techniques. Anything else you need? We've done a lot of mobilizing.
Oh, the arm.
We've done, yeah, the arm here. And this is for working the arms, okay? Some of you I know get a little caught up with that. Again, think about where you're going. That's all you need to think about. Where are you going? Where does your body need to be in relation to where you're going? And what part of the hand is going to be the best part of the hand to use for that? So if I'm going down here, yes, I can stroke down with my hand like that, but look what happens to the joint. And what do we not want? So then I'm thinking, okay, how can I get there? Well, I can use the back of my hand and just stroke down there. Yes? So would I use the back of my hand while I'm standing here?
No.
I could do that. But would I do there with the back of my hand? Would that look awkward?
Yeah.
Would that feel awkward? Okay, if it looks or feels awkward, try something else. That's a really good clue. Try something else. And we also need to think about the body that we have on the couch and the body that I have. You know, we are all different shapes and sizes, and so are your clients. And their ability to move will vary from one person to another. So we have to adapt what we do all the time, which is why we teach you so many different ways of working. Yes?
Yes.
Good. Are you ready? Good.
Yeah, you can stop the video, I think.